Good evening, baseball and tabletop baseball fans. This is TriFan giving the second update on my 1971 Vida Blue Cy Young Award replay. This update will involve all of his starts from the month of May, and we'll get started with his first start in the month of May, which was in Detroit against the Tigers and facing Dean Chance. In the bottom of the first, the Tigers got out first. Mickey Stanley with the leadoff double. And then Al Kaline hits one to the upper deck to put the Tigers up 2-0. At the top of the fourth, Don Mincher for the A's would have a leadoff single. Two batters later, Rick Monday singles and then puts runners on first and second. A wild pitch moves them up to second and third. And then Dave Duncan hits a ground ball to third, and the usual sure-handed Aurelio Rodriguez makes the play in the hole, but the run scores, make it 2-1. On the top of the sixth, a one-out single by Monday moves to second on a Dave Duncan walk. And then two batters later, Vida Blue ends up being actually a pretty good hitter, singles, and Monday beats the throw home, and we're tied at 2. And we go to the bottom of the seventh. Aurelio Rodriguez makes up for his gaffe to not get a double play. He gets a leadoff double, and then goes to third on a Dick McCullough fly ball to right. And then Ed Brinkman singles home Rodriguez to make it 3-2 Tigers. And then the bottom of the eighth, and you think this would almost be all, Al Kaline leadoff single, and then Willie Horton also goes upper tank for a 2-run homer, and 5-2 Tigers, and that's all for Blue. However, the Tigers had their issues in the ninth inning. Dave Boswell was in the second inning of relief for them. Angel Mangual pinch hit for Klimkowski, and he walked. And then after Campaneris flew out, Joe Rudy singled and put runners on first and second. And the manager comes out and gives the magical fingers and says, give me the ball and you're done. However, Reggie Jackson greeted him not so kindly. An RBI single scoring Mangual to make it 5-3. And then Rudy went to third on that single. Mincher followed with a walk. You got Bando to fly out to make it 2 outs, but Rick Monday with a 2-run double ties the game at 5, and Blue is off the hook. However, the bottom of the ninth did not last very long. Raleigh Fingers came in for relief. You got Brinkman to strike out, and then Gates Brown pinch hit, and it's high, and it's far, and it is gone, and everybody go home happy. Tigers win 6-5. Blue with a no decision. He went 7 innings, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. And then Sherman gets the win in relief, and Fingers gets the loss. All right, now we go to game number 9. We travel to Baltimore's Memorial Stadium, and Jim Palmer is the starting pitcher today for the Orioles. In the top of the second, a leadoff single by Monday, and then Frank Robinson gaffes it, and he goes to third on an error. And then 2 batters later, Larry Brown hits a deep fly ball to center field. It is caught, but it is deep enough to get the run home, and it is 1-0 A's. We go to the top half of the third inning, and then with 2 outs, Reggie Jackson hits one deep into over the center field wall to make it 2-0 A's. However, Kurt Motton, who would be a pain in Vida Blue's side in this game, in the bottom of the fifth, hits a solo home run to make it 2-1. And then in the bottom of the sixth, Paul Blair with a 2-out solo home run made it 2-2. However, the A's would come on strong in the top half of the eighth. 1-out single by Joe Rudy. And then after a mound visit by Palmer, he said he was okay. Reggie Jackson takes him deep for his second home run of the day, make it 4-2. Palmer got through the eighth, but would not last any longer. The Orioles had their chance in the bottom of the eighth, sorry. The first and second, but Frank Robinson hits into an around-the-horn double play. Bando to Green to Mincher, and that makes it, that ties the game at 4-2. And in the bottom of the ninth, Brooks Robinson also hits into a double play, ending the game with a 4-2 victory for the A's. Blue goes the distance, giving up 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Palmer also goes 8. 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. All right, we go to the next game at Royals Stadium, where Ken Wright would be pitching for the Royals. And then in the top of the third, Dick Green reaches on a Freddie Patek error. He goes to second when Blue lays down a good sacrifice bunt. And then Bert Campaneris with an RBI single makes it 1-0. Top of the sixth, a double by Joe Rudi, followed by back-to-back walks to load the bases. And then Sal Bando singles home Rudi to reload the bases to make it 2-0. Jackson would score on a wild pitch to make it 3-0. And then Dave Duncan with the coup de grace, a 3-run homer, making it 6-0. The A's would add a run in the 9th inning. I'm not going to use the extra point, even though I know one of our commenters loved that I did. Makes it 7-0. Blue went the distance, giving up 1 hit, a 4th inning double to Amos Otis. No runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Really good. Ken Wright with 5 innings, giving up 5 runs, and he gets the loss. All right, in Game 11, we are back in Oakland facing Bill Parsons and the Brewers. And in the bottom of the first, the Wild thing must have been invading Bill Parsons because he walked the first 4 batters, and it made it 1-0. Then Dave Duncan hit a fly ball to Bill Voss, and he must have lost it in the sun because it drops, and they called an error, made it 2-0 A's. In the bottom of the third, Reggie Jackson stays hot with another home run over the right field wall, makes it 3-0. We would later walk Mike Epstein and Rick Monday to put first and second, and me probably showing my inexperience, instead of walking the 8th place batter to get to the pitcher, we'll pitch to Dick Green. He ain't going to do nothing except hit a 3-run homer. Just cleared the left center field wall, and it's 6-0 A's. Tommy Harper would hit a leadoff home run in the top of the fourth to make it 6-1, but the A's come right back. Joe Rudi and Reggie Jackson back-to-back singles, put runners on first and second, and then Mike Epstein singles home Joe Rudi to make it 7-1, and Parsons would be pulled for John Morris. And the first batter he faces was Sal Bando, and he singles home Jackson to make it 8-1. Phil Roof in the top of the 5th would reach on a Sal Bando error. There's a second on a wild pitch to third on a fly ball to right. And then Al Yates pinch hitting singles home Roof to make it 8-2. The Brewers would put a little bit of a scare, not much. Solo home runs by Bill Voss and John Briggs, who was pinch hitting, make it 8-4. Blue gets pulled after that. The A's score 1 in the bottom of the 7th to make it 9-4. And that's your final. Blue pitches 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts for the win. And then Parsons goes 3 1/3 in the loss. All right, we go to game number 12, still in Oakland, and we're facing Jim Perry and the Minnesota Twins. And this was all A's early. They bat around in 2 innings. The first one in the bottom of the first. The first 3 batters single, and then Reggie Jackson, being that 3rd batter, he singles home Campaneris to make it 1-0. And then Mike Epstein reaches on a Leo Cardenas error, and that scores Joe Rudi to make it 2-0. And then an RBI single by Rick Monday, sorry for the singing, makes it 3-0. And then Dick Green with an RBI double makes it 4-0, and that's all the scoring for that inning. In the bottom of the 4th, the A's bat around again. Duncan and Green single, put runners on first and second. Blue lays down a sacrifice bunt to put runners on second and third. Campaneris walks to load the bases. And then Joe Rudi hits a shot to third. Rick Rennick makes a nice diving stop, but couldn't quite make the throw over to first, and he gets away from Killebrew. They call it a single and an error. Duncan and Green score to make it 6-0. Jackson with an RBI ground out makes it 7-0. And then Epstein and Bando with RBI singles make it 9-0. The Twins would add single runs in the 7th and the 8th. Killebrew hit a solo home run in the 8th to make it 9-2, and that's your ball game. Blue once again goes the distance. 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks. I'm a little disturbed by his walk total. And 9 strikeouts. Jim Perry goes 3 1/3. They got the starting pitching early again for the loss. And finally, the last start of the month of May was no sunshine for the Oakland A's. They faced Sonny Siebert and the Red Sox. The A's get all their runs in the top of the 3rd. Dick Green with a leadoff triple, and then Vida Blue with his first of 3 hits on the day. Makes it 1-0. And then Joe Rudi hits a deep fly ball, was misplayed by Reggie Smith, and that makes it 2-0 when Blue scored from first. And then Bando hits a ringing double off the monster to make it 3-0. In the bottom of the 3rd, Doug Griffin with a leadoff double. And then Reggie Smith atones for his error with an RBI single to make it 3-1 A's. The Red Sox would tie the game in the bottom of the 6th with a Louis Aparicio leadoff single. Carl Yastrzemski followed with a triple to make it 3-2. And then Rico Petrocelli follows with a single to make it 3-3. And then in the bottom of the 8th, it all goes downhill for the A's. Campaneris with an error lets Carl Yastrzemski on. Single and a walk load the bases. And then after a strikeout, you'd have thought maybe Dick Williams might have pulled Blue, but no, stuck with the pitcher that brought you there. Except Mike Josephson sends Blue to the showers with a bases-clearing double. Makes it 6-3. Darryl Knowles would come in, give up an RBI groundout to Doug Griffin. Makes it 7-3, and that's your final. Blue goes 7 1/3, gets the loss, 10 hits. Gave up 7, but only 4 were earned because of the 3 runs after the error. No walks and 10 strikeouts, which is a shame. Sonny Siebert went the distance, scattering, losing that kind of loosely. 10 hits, giving up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Well, as many of you probably were wondering, well, how is Blue doing in your replay compared to what he did in the regular baseball season? Well, in my replay, he is 9 wins and 3 losses. And in real life, he was 10-2 at this point at the end of May. And my ERA for him currently is 2.15, which is about 0.3 of a run off of where he would be at the end of the season. All right, that's all for here. My next update will be when he finishes his June starts. So until then, may your dice be lively and your rolls be good.